What the fuck is up? It is your host, Erica Nalen, and welcome back to another episode of the Hangover series. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the motherfucking Hangover series. I think there's something in my eyeball, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in there until I take my contacts out. I went to the eye doctor today, and I have contacts, so when you get there, you have to take out your contacts and put them in a lens case or whatever the fuck it's called. And then I had to put them back on my face. And, ever since then, I feel like there has been something in my eyeball. I could change out my contacts, but I just haven't had time to do that. I've just been complaining about it instead. My eye doctor would probably be like, girl, get whatever's in your eyeball out right now. So I'll do that after this, but for now, I'm probably just gonna tell you guys that something is in my eyeball 3 times, and I need you to just understand me, okay? I am back in my hometown right now of Omaha, Nebraska, and it feels like I'm in a time change. Like, I have been so exhausted since being here. Like, I feel like I went from the East Coast to the West Coast for some reason, but I literally did not change time zones. I went from the Midwest to the Midwest. So I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but my flight here was at 5 in the morning, or it was at like 6 in the morning. So I had to leave for the airport at like 4:50 in the morning, and I've never been up that early in my whole life. I actually do not remember the last time I woke up that early, but I was so excited to get up that early and see what was happening outside. There was absolutely nothing going on outside, but I was curious to see if there would be. It was a Thursday, so I don't really know what I thought would be happening at 4 a.m. outside of our apartment, but I wanted something to be going down. I have scheduled all of my appointments you could ever imagine in Omaha this week, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to find a doctor in a new city, so I always just try to fit my appointments in for things when I'm back in town. I don't know if anyone else does that. Obviously I will go to the doctor in Chicago if I need to, but for some reason I just love to just do it all at once when I'm back for the holidays. And I went to one doctor and I had to get my blood drawn, and I have a huge fucking bruise on my arm. It did not hurt in the moment. I feel like I do pretty good with needles, and it did not hurt in the moment, but the other day I looked down at my arm and I was like, wait, that must have hurt, because why do I have a big ginormous bruise on my arm right now? What is that from? So clearly something happened that I'm unaware of. But for today's episode, since I'm in my hometown, since I'm in my college bedroom, as I was going through some of the items in my closet, because a lot of the items that I have here that are in my closet, that are in my dresser, the shoes I have here, the random gadgets are from my past life, who I was before Chicago. And that would be college me. That would be what I was up to in college. And I was looking through my closet and I was reminiscing kind of on the good memories, because some of the clothes in my closet, they don't hold good memories. I saw this one specific dress in there and I was like, ugh, why is that still in my closet? That needs to be burned. I don't ever want to see that dress again. I just got flashbacks to the one and only time I wore that specific dress, and I was like, this has got to go. But some of the items that I was looking at have really good stories in them. So I thought we should go through some of the items that I have that I pulled out of my closet and go through what I did in these specific clothes. That might seem very strange to you, I'm not sure, but that's what we're gonna do. I used to have a lot more items here, but I donated a bunch of clothes. I don't know why I didn't donate some of these. I must have, wanted to talk about them one day. I don't know why I still have some of these, but I do. And I actually have like way too many clothes here that scare me, actually. I brought like a very small suitcase home because, sorry, but like I hate paying to bring a suitcase home. Like, please just let this be free. I've never understood that, honestly. Like, why do we have to pay for a suitcase? I get if it's like overweight, sure. I feel like bringing a large suitcase on a flight should be free because obviously I'm going somewhere, like I need a suitcase. Why is it only free if you bring a tiny ass suitcase? Like, your girl needs more items. I wasn't even able to bring a sweatshirt home because I couldn't fit it. And if you're like, well, why didn't you wear it? Well, that's because I needed to bring a leather jacket home, and that also wouldn't fit. And I didn't want to wear a sweatshirt and a leather jacket. It's like a lot of items on the body that I would have had to take off in security. And like, I just couldn't do all that, okay? But I've been having to wear the sweatshirts that I left in my closet here, and they like are terrifying. One of them has like a huge beaver on it from like a fake college. Like, I don't know where I got this sweatshirt from. I don't even think it's mine, honestly. And it has a huge beaver on it with like a fake school. And I had to wear that to the eye doctor today because it like wasn't cold enough to wear a winter coat. I also didn't bring a winter coat back, but I needed to wear a sweatshirt, and the other ones have really weird memories in them, or they don't fit, or they're from when I was like 18. So I was like, okay, I'm wearing the beaver sweatshirt, and I'm pretty sure I wore this beaver sweatshirt last year when I went to the eye doctor too. So anyways, this is so besides the point. Let's go through some items that I pulled from my closet and let's talk about them. Okay, so the first 3 items that I grabbed that I'm honestly surprised I still have here are from 3 of the past jobs that I had in college. So I guess we'll go in order. One of them, which I guess I won't tell you the names of these places, but the first item that I have is a pair of scrubs. A pair of navy blue scrubs. This was definitely like the comfiest work attire I've ever worn. Like, there were so many moments when I wore scrubs to work where I was like, wait, do I become a nurse? Like, do I do something in healthcare? Because I want to wear scrubs every day because they were so comfy and I liked how I looked in them. But when I was in college, which I know I have an episode where I went through like all the different jobs I've done, but I don't think I talked about this job. But when I was in college, I worked at one of the hospitals here in Nebraska for like 2 years, I think. It was for a really long time. And I started off as like a patient attendant, and basically you would be assigned a new patient every single shift anywhere in the hospital, and you would go, watch is I guess like what you were supposed to be doing, but I always said like hang out with said patient. So basically we would call in every day at like 2 p.m. and they would tell us like what room we were going to, like room 209, and then you would go to that room and you would have no description of what the patient, was going through or anything. Like, you literally would just call. They would tell you a room number anywhere in the hospital, like literally anywhere in the hospital. It could be in any building. And then you would go there. You would meet one of the other patient attendants. They would tell you like what's going on with the patient, how they've been, why you're there. And then you would go in and introduce yourself and hang out with them for 8 hours. And this was actually probably my favorite job, or at least like really up there in my favorite jobs that I've had, because it seriously opened my eyes to so many things, and I learned so much about people and that kind of setting that I would have never learned if I never worked there. And it really, like, honestly changed my outlook on life. And people might think that's dramatic, but like, it's not. Um, and yeah, I had like a bunch of different patients. I obviously don't remember every single one of them because there were a lot of patients, but I do remember a couple of them. And it was just so interesting and like such a learning experience, I guess, to work this job. And it was really interesting because we didn't like I obviously had coworkers when I did this job, but I never saw them or hung out with them because you were always just one-on-one with a patient. And then like obviously we would talk to the nurses sometimes or like CNAs if we needed help, but for the most part, my coworkers were also doing the same thing I was doing, so it was just me and a patient. And yeah, I would, talk to these patients for like 8 hours long, and get to know them and then never see them again. So, sometimes I would get them again the next day if I worked the next day, but yeah, sometimes it was really, really draining though. Like, I will say I had some really good days when I did this job, and then I had some really awful days where I would leave and I would be crying and just so stressed out because some of the patients, obviously were there one-on-one in the room with them because, maybe they're really agitated or they keep trying to get out of their bed or they're really confused, whatever it is. And then when I also worked at this hospital, I moved to like the transport team. So I think I did the patient attendant job for like a year, and then I did the transport team for like a year. So that was where I became my strongest I've ever been, body wise, I think. And we basically would take patients in their beds via wheelchair, other things, but mainly like bed and wheelchair. We would take them to different appointments like an x-ray, CT scan, MRIs, dialysis, bed transfers if they needed to just be moved to a new floor. And we would take them all throughout the hospital. And that was a lot of steps. I think I walked like 25 to 30,000 steps a shift because we were running around the hospital like literally every which direction. Like, we were going crazy in there. I was not good at pushing wheelchairs with IVs. I was not skilled in that area. Doing the beds with the help of like, someone else, I could get that down, but pushing a wheelchair with an IV is really hard, especially when you have to go really far distance. And then there was like drama with the team that we had. Like, I forget what even happened, but so much drama started happening between the team, and I swear the team was only like 12 of us. Drama started happening, and I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of this drama. I'm not even planning on working in healthcare. I think everyone else probably was. And I was like, I gotta go. But I did 2 years there, and it was one of my favorite jobs. So I hope everyone that still works there is doing well. The job that I worked after this holds a lot of memories with me. This was my first ever serving job, and I have the sweatshirt from when I worked there, and then I have 2 t-shirts. I guess I won't tell you the name of it because I don't want to give them a bad rep, but this was my first ever serving job, and this changed my life in many different ways, good and bad. I was so nervous to start a serving job because I feel like serving is honestly really intimidating. Like, you have to go up to tables and talk to them, and everyone stares at you, and it's scary. But I think I just heard about how much servers were making, like people I knew we're making so much money serving, and I wanted to be part of that, and free food and lots of other things, benefits. So I started working at a sports bar, which I don't know why that actually surprises me that I picked a sports bar to work at, but I don't even think I mean, I obviously worked like some sports games because I feel like there's always sports games happening, but I don't think I ever worked like an actual big sports game ever. Like, if there was a huge game going on, I was probably at it. If it had to do with like Nebraska, I was probably at it and probably begging and paying people to take my shifts or something. Like, that's the kind of coworker that I was. Like, begging people in the group me to work my shifts. But hi, I was young and I was trying to have fun, okay? But this job was so crazy in the best way. We had like 50-cent wing Mondays, like 10-cent taco Wednesdays, and there were other days, but those are like the two that I always worked and will always remember, and they were insane. Like, literally insane. You turn tables like no other. The tacos were actually really good. That's where I learned what a fried taco was, and I used to eat like 14 of them in a shift. It was so good. That's where I also learned to dip my tacos in ranch. I know that's crazy, but we used to make homemade ranch at this restaurant every single day. And everyone was like best friends at this restaurant. Like, we were a community, okay? We used to hang out like multiple times a week after work. Like, it was actually so much fun until it wasn't. But we would all like, when we would get off of work on Mondays, like, we would all go hang out afterwards. When we would get off on Wednesdays, like, we would all go hang out afterwards. And then we were hanging out like every single Saturday as well. Like, we were obsessed with each other and we hung out all the time. I was always really hungover because I worked Friday mornings and we used to play sand volleyball on Thursdays, which, tell me why that was like my idea. I literally have never played volleyball in my whole life, and I was like, we all need to start a volleyball team. And we started a volleyball team on Thursdays, and we used to just have so many tequila shots. Like, I think people were scared to join the team because I was making people take tequila shots like every set. Like, we would end a set and I'd be like, tequila shots, and then we'd end another set and we would all be like, tequila shots. But it was so fun. Like, it was actually so fun. Even though one time I had a group of parents pull me aside because, I will say my team was very aggressive and they did used to get really upset because I was so bad. I was so bad. And I never knew what was going on. And then once I had like all my tequila shots, I obviously played a lot better, but people would be like, can you play that good sober? I'm like, no, I'm scared of the ball and I don't know what's going on. But no one ever really taught me how to play correctly, but they would like yell at me and sometimes people would boo me. It was crazy. But I never took it personally. And then I had this group of adults, parents, pull me aside one time after a game, and they like pulled me to this area and they told me that my team that I was on was bullying me, and they were like, they are like not nice to you. Like, I don't even care if they think they're joking or they're joking around with you. Like, these people are not your friends. They are straight up bullies and they are being so mean to you, and like, I would not be friends with these people. And then they told me that they would teach me how to play volleyball if I ever wanted to learn, and give me like actual, tips and tricks. And then I was like, wait, I thought that we were all loving and hating, I didn't realize it was like that bad. So maybe it was that bad. Like, I know there were bad moments, but like, it had to have been way worse than I was even thinking. If, once those parents pulled me aside and were like, girl, these people don't like you, I was like, wait, help. And this was my idea, shit. But I was just there for the tequila shots, honestly. And then sometimes we would go to this like country bar after and line dance, question mark, but we didn't actually line dance. We more so like twerked and begged the DJ to let us play better music, which I know that was not the point of the bar, but that's what I wanted to be doing. Um, but that was a fun job until it wasn't. I had a lot of hungover days there, as I said, and I like would literally not be okay at all. Like I would have such a bad headache and I would not be okay. And then they would have us make ranch, and then we would have to pour this huge thing of ranch. Like they made a ginormous thing of ranch, like this size of a large laundry basket. Like I'm not even kidding. The size of a very large laundry basket full of ranch. And then they would want us to pour that huge laundry basket of ranch into little tiny cups. But like you would pour them into these milk jug looking things, and then you would squirt it into the little cups. I'm not the strongest person, okay? Like nobody should ever be trusting me to pick up a laundry size of ranch and pour it in 2 cups, like literally ever. But for some reason, I was always assigned the ranch, like always assigned the ranch. And I always would get someone and be like, hey, can you pour this into the jug for me? And then I'll squirt it into the little cups. Like, I cannot lift this up. And I'm so scared to lift it up. Like, I was scared it was gonna like go everywhere, you know? And every single time someone would do it for me, like they would pick it up and pour it into the things for me. And like if there was like a little bit of ranch in it, I could do it, but when that bitch was full, like no way in hell. And someone would like most of the time always do it for me, except for this one time. And everyone kept saying no. Like they were like, you can do it yourself. Like you can do it yourself. Like stop asking people. You're always asking people to do this for you. Do it yourself. And I'm like, bruh, do it myself. Like there's gonna be ranch everywhere. I know that we don't want me doing this myself. And every single person, even my manager, was like, do it yourself. You can do it. Do it yourself. I'm like, okay. If everyone thinks I can do it myself, I will show them that I literally, possibly, physically can't. Like, okay, no one will help me. I guess I'll try. I'll try to do it myself. So I picked up this laundry size ranch and I try to pour it in the cups like everyone told me to do. And what happens? What happens? Ranch goes everywhere. There is ranch covering 5 iPads. There's ranch on the floor. There's ranch on the table. There's ranch under the sink. There's ranch under the fridge. There's ranch fucking everywhere. Like literally everywhere. And then what does everybody do? Everyone comes over and they're bitching at me. And they're like, why'd you get ranch fucking everywhere? I'm like, hello? Did I not just ask every single one of you to help me? And everyone told me that I could do it myself. So that, I knew I couldn't do the ranch, but I just needed to prove to everyone like I really can't do this. And I was serious when I saw that. So, they did still give me ranch duties after that, but I think that they were a little bit nicer in the fact that they never let me pour it like that again. And I remember watching my manager have to clean ranch out of like 5 iPads. I was like, I'm so sorry. I actually have so many stories about this restaurant, like an insane amount of stories, because I'm getting flashbacks to like the one time that I had to call, what are those people called that like do the restaurant checks and like check everything out? I once called them on the restaurant because I found mold in the ceiling and no one was doing anything about it. And I have a lot more stories about this restaurant, like about how I quit / walked out because of something crazy that happened. But that's a story for a later date. The next item that I have here is from my second and last serving job. And it is a black button-up shirt, which this actually looks like so small. Like I cannot believe that I used to wear this. This is like a collared black shirt. And I remember when they said that we had to wear this, I genuinely didn't know what that meant because I had never worn a collared shirt before in my whole entire life. Like I literally had never worn that before. And they told me that I had to buy that. And whatever I bought the first time, like I obviously didn't take you have to wear a collared shirt seriously. So I went to like Target. I went on Amazon and I ordered these like really cute, I mean, they were collared, but like they weren't button up. Like it was like a really cute V-neck black shirt that had a collar, but it was not what they were looking for. And I ordered a bunch of these and I was like, wow, these are like so cute. These are so cute. I ordered like really cute black pants. And I showed up and everyone's like, what the hell? What the hell is this? You cannot wear these kind of shirts here. I'm like, what is it? Like, it has a collar. What is a collar? Like, it has that. It has collar on it. And they're like, ma'am, it needs to be a long sleeve collared button up shirt. Yeah. I'm like literally having a flashback to what this shirt used to smell like when I would get off my shifts, which maybe that's really gross, but just know it didn't smell good. This was at a sushi restaurant, and I have a lot of stories about that place too. And you know what I miss most about that place is the kitchen staff, because they used to like, I was really chill when I started there. You know, I barely communicated with people. I kept to myself and I was really shy there for some reason. I don't know why I got shy, but I felt shy there. And, you know, the head kitchen chef was like, one day we made eye contact and he said, "Do you want a tequila shot?" And I was like, wait, what? Yes, like obviously. And ever since I took that one tequila shot with him, like he never stopped offering them. Every shift, he'd be like, "Do you want a tequila shot? Do you want a tequila shot? Do you want a tequila?" I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you want beer? Do you want a martini? Like everyone was asking me what I wanted to drink, and it really made the shift better, honestly. They had like a meeting about not drinking on the shift, obviously. You know, we shouldn't have been doing that, but we were. We all were. Even the head kitchen man was, okay? Like, help. And they had a meeting about, you know, not taking tequila shots anymore on shift. And I happened to miss this meeting. Like, I missed the whole thing. I don't know what I was doing, but I could not attend. And no one filled me in on what the meeting was about or anything, you know? So I thought it couldn't have been important. If nobody filled me in on it, it couldn't have been important. So I go in for my next shift and I'm like, you know, asking everybody, like, where's the tequila? Where's the tequila? Who was taking shots? How was everyone's weekend? Hey, tequila boy, where's the shots at? And everyone's like staring at me like, bitch, you better shut the fuck up. Bitch, you better shut the fuck up. And my friend pulled me aside and she's like, that's what our meeting was about Wednesday. I'm like, what? The meeting was about? The meeting was about tequila shots? And she's like, yes. The meeting was about tequila shots. Like, we can't have those here anymore. I'm like, what the fuck? I quit. Just kidding. But that didn't last very long. Like, I think that lasted like 2 days. And then everyone was back to making martinis. I feel like that's every restaurant. Like, nobody be concerned for these restaurants. I literally think that's every restaurant. You know, maybe not every restaurant, but a lot of them. I promise you that, you know, they might be having martinis in the back. And we should be happy for them. Because it makes the shift a whole lot better when there is a martini in your system. Especially when you're working a Sunday all-day happy hour after a night out, when you are out until 3 in the morning on a Saturday, and you work the next day at all-day happy hour where you have a table until like 11 p.m. all-day happy hour. Yeah, sorry, but if that martini that I had when I got to my shift cured my hangover and made that shift a lot better, I was gonna have it. I was gonna have it, okay? The next item that I found are a man's sweatpants. Genuinely have no clue who these are. I feel like every man and their dad and their brother and their uncle and their cousin, they all have these sweatpants. Every single one of them. They are the black Nike sweatpants. Like, these could be so many people's. They are a size medium. Medium men. So if these are yours, I have them, and feel free to just send me your address and I will bring them to you. I thought that my mom got rid of the random men's clothes that I had in here, which maybe you're like, why is your mom? Let it be. Let it be. There were a lot of clothes in this closet. My mom wanted some of them gone. Some of them happened to be men of my past clothes, okay? One of them, she happened to know the guy. Well, she knew him because I introduced her to him. And, she even offered to go drive them to his house and give him them. And I was like, we don't need to do all that. And she's like, well, this is a really nice shirt. Like, just ask. I'm like, okay. And I had to call up a man that I used to talk to of my past and be like, hi, my mom's giving away my clothes, and your sweatshirt shirt thing happens to be one of them, and we're about to take it to Goodwill, or my mom can bring it to you. What do you want to do with that information? He chose that I donate it to Goodwill. So after that, I mean, I had donated everyone else's clothes to Goodwill, all of the men of my past. Maybe don't do me dirty and you won't have your clothes donated, okay? But all of the men of my past clothes were donated. I don't know why I even offered that man his clothes back. And I don't know whose sweatpants these are. But if these are yours, this is your last opportunity. Or I'm feeding them to the wolves. Okay, the next item that I found in here, very confused by this one, but it is a 99 brand, 99 proof, holy shit, 49.5% alcohol. What? Okay, I see why people buy these. Apple shooter. What the fuck is this doing in my bedroom? I know that this is either from like my 21st or my 22nd birthday. Not sure which one, but it is from one of those. And I don't know why I still have it. But holy shit, it is 49.5% alcohol. People are obsessed with these, or at least they were when I was in college. Is most vodka that high of percentage? It probably is, but like, you know, I just never read that kind of information when I'm looking at alcohol. I never read that. But I have that, and I found it. It was just sitting on my dresser as if it was like a prop, as if it was like a flower vase. I don't come home to flower vases. I come home to a 99-cent proof shooter. My mom probably left this here for me because she's probably like, you know what? She might need that. She might be having a really bad day after work and she might need that. I don't think alcohol expires. I don't want to take this right now with you guys, but I'll let you know what happens with this. I don't know why I have never drank it. Like, I must be slightly scared of it. Next up are my go-go boots. Oh my goodness. I'm also going to post a photo of all of these items so you like know what I'm talking about, but I have a pair of go-go boots. And holy fuck, when you look at these things, you are going to be like, girl, why were you still wearing these? These go-go boots were everything to me in college. I think I wore them every single weekend. Like, I'm not even kidding. Go-go boots and me, we were best friends. I love them, and I honestly think they went with every single outfit I had ever put on my body. I think I ordered them for Mardi Gras, and then I loved them, and I loved how they fit my feet. I loved walking in them. I loved how they looked, and I just never stopped wearing them. Like, I'm not even kidding. I wore them in the summer. I wore them in the fall. I wore them in the winter. Like, I wore these girls every single weekend. They were everything to me. Like, I would even wear like a super oversized t-shirt and the go-go boots. I would wear any kind of dress in the go-go boots, shorts in the go-go boots, skirts in the go-go boots. Like, I was always wearing the go-go boots. I was never not wearing them. I think I bought them for Mardi Gras, but now I'm like, is that what I bought them for? Like, is that really what changed my life? But one of the heels started breaking on them. I don't know why I just didn't order new ones. Now I'm kind of thinking, like, should I order new ones and start wearing the go-go boots like a psychopath again? Like, I was obsessed with these. Like, I'm going to find so many photos of me in these fucking go-go boots, and you might be like, girl, what? But I think they're so cute. Like, I am kind of obsessed with the fact that I wore go-go boots every weekend in college. Like, why didn't more people start doing that? How did I not start a trend? Like, do you think people hated the go-go boots? Because I was obsessed with them. Like, those girls are never being thrown away. If I came home and those girls were gone, I would be upset. I would be upset. Okay, the next item that I have is this black pleather, because obviously I don't own any leather yet, but black pleather dress that I'm obsessed with. And I wore this, I think only once, and it was on my 21st birthday in Las Vegas. You heard that right. My 21st birthday was my golden birthday, and I am obsessed with birthdays, as I'm sure you guys are fully aware of, because I say that a lot. I'm like, I'm obsessed with birthdays. I'm obsessed with birthdays. I'm obsessed. And my 21st was my golden birthday. I feel like that just like really adds up for me. Like my 21st being my golden birthday, like it just makes sense, okay? It really makes sense. And I had never gone to Vegas before, and I really, 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 really wanted to go to Vegas for my 21st birthday. And luckily, I had some good ass friends that were like, we'll go to Vegas with you for your 21st birthday. And that's what we did. Do I remember the night that I wore this? Absolutely not. But why would I? It was my 21st birthday. I know that I put gems in my hair. Like, that's what was going on at that time in my life. People were bedazzling their hair. I know I wore eyeliner. I know I wore these heels that I literally could not walk in. They're also in my closet, but I couldn't walk in them for shit. And it was just like iconic. And I am just obsessed with this dress, and I never want to get rid of it because it was for my 21st birthday in Vegas. Like, what is better than that? There's nothing better than that. The next and almost last item that I have is this white dress from, I don't know where she's from, but I wore her for Mardi Gras when I went to New Orleans for Mardi Gras when I was in college. And I actually forgot about this, but I was not even 21 years old when we went to Mardi Gras, which is kind of crazy to think about because obviously we were drinking the whole time. But I wasn't 21, and I don't remember having an issue getting into any bars. It was also so beautiful there because you can just drink on the streets like it's no one's business. Why can't I finish words? You could just drink on the streets like it was no one's business. Like, you can get a martini and walk around the town with it. You can do anything with it. We got beads. We saw alligators. We did the whole shebang shaboom, and it was one of the most fun trips. One of the most fun trips I've ever had in my life. I was also in my bedazzling phase back then. Wore lots of bedazzles. Wore the go-go boots, because I think that's what I ordered them for. And just had a good old time. I said that wasn't the last item, but that actually was the last item that I pulled out. So, yeah. I know this episode was like extremely random, but I just wanted to tell you about some of the memories that I didn't have the podcast for, but I so dearly wish I did. But let me know if you liked this kind of episode and if you want to hear about more of the clothes in my closet that I didn't pull out. But I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving or a good holiday, and I will catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.